It's loud. Uh, 1 second. Oh, well, that explains why everything is so loud. Okay. I don't know if that did anything, but well, happy Saturday, everybody. Um, it's actually been a couple weeks since I got on here. Gonna try to get some painting done. I actually have not done much in the past few weeks. I finished that Red Dragon, the Orc Dragon Rider. Um, and I started on these Orc War Song themed archers. Got the skin done, uh, and got their bows and quivers done. But I'm gonna redo the bows and quivers. I don't like how they turned out. Uh, we'll see though. We'll see. We'll see how it looks all together. Um, so yeah, this was the first week starting our Monday to Friday schedule at work. Uh, like I said, I'm not sure how my stream schedule is gonna function under this. Uh, now that I'm working Fridays, I don't know. It felt like a tough week. There's some advantages, some disadvantages. Uh, so over the course of this week, we will, or sorry, over the course of the next couple months, we'll get into a rhythm and see where we go from there. Um, so yeah, I've spent the past couple weeks assembling Star Wars Legion clone trooper armies and assembling a ATTE tank walker for I've scaled it for Star Wars Legion. Got the model from Gambati. Had a way too many problems with it, but I think everything's printed and we're ready to go. So I started assembling that, and of course ran into more problems, such as life. C'est la vie. Okay, let's switch over and get to our painting. All right. So yeah, you can see, his skin is done, and I painted the bow, and the quiver. I just don't know if there's enough. I used kind of a little bit of a guide on these, uh, like a color guide, and I feel like the bow on all of them is too close to the primer color. But maybe once everything is painted up, that might uh, that might actually look fine. We'll see. So let us. I got these new Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl sables. They finally were back in stock, and so I heard so many good things about them that I wanted to try 'em. I got a little bit of life left in this wet palette. Surprised that it is still damp after having not used it for 2 weeks. Uh, let's remove my lights. It's better lighting on here. I'm gonna do a kind of a lazy non-metallic metal on these. It's not gonna look like anything special. At least that's the goal. So I did let's see, these models are my 3D print forge. And this is the Mag'har heritage armor from World of Warcraft. Mag'har are a allied race of the Horde. Pretty much a uncorrupted orc. And so I did the first batch, there's 15 of these guys total. Um, 5 tank like shield carriers, 5 melee, melee, and then 5 archers. And I did the first 10 using uh, Army Painter speed paints and a double slap chop method, which is a fun method, but um, and it's an easy way to get very good looking models. But I kind of want to, I want to do stuff that challenges me a little bit. You know, I'm gonna spend a lot of time painting these various armies of miniatures that I've assembled. Uh, I made essentially a Warcraft 1 slash Warcraft 2 Orcish Horde army. And so I would like to not stagnate while I'm painting these guys. And that's kind of how all that works out is if you're not practicing your skills, you're not going to improve. So as I've started to learn more traditional styles, I want to continue growing those skills. I'm not going to say that, the slap chop, double slap chop, speed paints, all that, that those don't require any skill. But I do feel that you can get away with being a much sloppier painter with those. And even though this is army painting, like I said, I still probably have about 100 miniatures for this Horde army. I've got 180 Sun Elves, couple hundred. I don't even know. I bought the starter sets for uh, all of the. Hey, Tupod, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Only a couple hundred, but at the rate I'm currently going, that's gonna have me. It's gonna keep me busy for the next 30 years. I've been very almost non-existent with my painting. Even today, my motivation's a little less than. But we'll try to push through. Gotta be able to find a rhythm with my streaming. Skip the last. I definitely skipped last week. I don't think I streamed the week before either, and I haven't really painted much. I did assemble a bunch of Star Wars Legion miniatures. That's not really helpful because there's a lot of there's a lot to be painted. Yeah, I started assembling the Republic clone trooper armies. Just to change of pace. I feel like I've put a lot of time into like World of Warcraft. Well, that's enjoyable. That doesn't really have any lasting value. I feel like at least this painting gives me something to look back at. Video games are enjoyable. Don't really so yeah, just needed a change of pace. I go through those phases. But I gotta get moving on some of this painting. I want to get these out of the way because my next project is, for the most part, printed and primed. And that one actually has sort of a deadline. It's going to be a statue diorama. It's uh it's a gift, so there is a time limit to get it done. No, I don't want popularity. I'm good. Thanks though. I had a stream bot to catch that crap. Does it want to work this week? Had a lot of stuff like that that doesn't want to work. My restream didn't want to work today. It's what allows me to stream to both Twitch and YouTube. For whatever reason, it was not functioning. But if we get to a week where I don't have technology issues, well, that'll be a pleasant surprise. So yeah, this was our first week at work on the Monday to Friday schedule. We were on a Monday to Thursday, which gave me a nice little 3-day weekend. And yeah, the days Monday to Thursday were longer. Oh, I didn't feel like they were much shorter for me this week. I'm very protective of my time when it comes to work, simply because I've done the whole working 60, 70 hours a week, and the benefit for me never outweighed the negatives, the cost. So now I've got a job where it's supposed to just be 40 hours, and I do my darndest to keep it 40 hours. This week, though, definitely exceeded that. Mm. I think I missed a couple of spots on this one. Yeah. Little stomach ring or whatever this is. So the past 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, Tupad. I missed that message. I was just about to bring up StarCraft. Is uh that Zeratul pre-order from, well, I guess that was a few months ago. Yeah, watching be done before Tuesday. You've pre-ordered, oh, the all in. Oh, yeah, I pre-ordered uh yeah, that's right. Yes, because they had it at yeah, Spiel Essen. Uh and they had it for sale, but I didn't pull the trigger on that because the duties and shipping were, I think it was more than the actual miniature. Um, but I have some version of Zeratul. I don't know if it's the same one or if it's a different one that's with this new pre-order. Um, so I bought it was just the starter sets, the ones that will never be out again or whatever. I did for the Terran, the Zerg, and the Protoss. Yeah, I figure once that's why I didn't do the all in. Uh because a lot of that stuff ends up going local stores. Um and Amazon tends to get their hands on it. I've been able to get a lot of the Legion, Star Wars Legion. Um yeah, yeah, I added that Zeratul to mine. Uh so I think I got the 3 starter sets and then the Zeratul, and that was it. Everything else, all the other expansions, I wish I would have done the Hydralisks, but oh well. Too late for regrets. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of streamers uh the last 2 weeks painting StarCraft. I guess Archon had quite a few sets at Adepticon. So I know Monument Hobbies on their stream. They had the what is it, the Ultralisk? The flying one? Oh my goodness, 500 sets. I'm really having some remorse not going this year. I mean, I've never gone ever, but uh I really wanted that they're calling it one step paint from Monument Hobbies. Um Seeing that they had all those StarCraft sets. Well, they were doing some, it looked like he had wings. but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the same thing. Yeah, they were talking about um, all the assuming Adepticon reveals, like more commander units like Abathar and um, Arcturus Mensk, whatever. That guy. The villain. Um, yeah, but there's been a lot of uh there's another guy on Facebook. What's his name? Angel Heraldez, I think. But he's been doing tutorials on painting Terran Space Marines. I think it's Angel Heraldez. There's a few on my Facebook that I follow. Well, we got. Is this going to be different versions of Kerrigan, Rayner, and Artanis, or the ones that we get with the pre-orders? And I wouldn't mind a Terran version of Kerrigan when she was a ghost or whatever they call them. Feel like I need to go back and play. It's been so long since I played. A lot of that storyline is it's been replaced. I only have so much memory room in my head. So I was gonna ask, what's happening Tuesday that you need to have that Zeratul finished? Is that just an internal goal, or you got something going on? Ludiverse. You're gonna run a StarCraft demo, like playing the game? Okay, well, that'll be fun. How big is Ludiverse? Oh yeah, You're gonna have to post that when you're done. That I want to see for sure. Eventually I'm gonna have to come out of my shell and go to some of these shows. We got a big one, the Las Vegas Open. I think that happens sometime this fall. And there's a lot that I want to go to. I always talk myself out of it. They got ReaperCon. Oh, nice. See, I wouldn't mind playing some of that stuff. I don't know. I'm weird. So that's what I'd like the vendors. Because I'll probably never end up playing the StarCraft game. I just want to paint the stuff, which is why I need to get better. Because if I'm just gonna paint, my stuff better look good. Of StarCraft. Mm, okay. How long um how long is a game on average? Okay. That's not too bad. Although I have no frame of reference. What is like a standard Warhammer 40K game last? Oh, I just realized I don't have any music on. Sorry. Let's make sure that's not too loud. That's too loud. We'll try that. Sorry, just something to add some background noise. 2000 is a 2.5 hour. Okay. It's not bad. You know, we've got one Warhammer store here in Vegas, and it is 10 minutes from me, and I've never been in it. And I think all the Warhammer stores do the monthly giveaway on Saturdays. I'm just missing out. Don't they have they call it like I've heard people talking about another strengths at the Warhammer or the Games Workshop stores. They have like the mini of the month, and you just go and stand in line and get a free miniature. Yeah, that one. I keep seeing people talk about it, and they said the store's about 10 minutes away from me. Maybe one day. One day I'll get out of my, oh wow. Hour and a half. I feel like you guys have a lot more stores out there than America. I'm talking to some people, I know this is England, but some people from the UK, they've got like stores on every corner. Oh, okay. Do you live in a smaller town? Ah, okay. That makes a little more sense then. Yeah, 600 is, I think the smallest I've lived in was some tiny little town in Indiana. It was like 1,100 people. I don't know. I kind of like the big city convenience, but it's also part of what keeps me inside because it's just too much out there. There's traffic everywhere. Oh, I already did that. It's just too busy. Oh yeah, not in a town of 600. Traffic would be non-existent. Yeah, I like the fact that we've got shopping centers on every corner. So like grocery shopping, you got a lot of different options. Like I said, it's so hard to get anywhere now because it's just too dense. They have built so many new homes and new businesses, warehouses over on this side of Vegas. It's just they haven't done enough to build up the roads to accommodate all of that. We got a whole It's kind of a racket when it comes to the road construction. I moved to Vegas like 11 years ago, and there's this one road up by uh, UNLV, the college out here. I feel like it's been under construction since we moved. The road in front of the factory, uh, I watched them tear up that road and resurface it 3 times. Belgian and French. I think I've asked this before. How close are you to the French border? Because you're only, what, a few hours from Paris. Wait, does that mean where you work, you got a hour and a half drive? If the nearest Warhammer store is an hour and a half, and you're working near one of those stores, okay, that's not that's not horrible. But yeah, you got a long commute to work then. Ah, okay. So you're mostly remote work. Brussels. I'm about I can get to my factory in under 10 minutes. That is the nice thing about that. Especially since managing a factory, there's not really any work from home. Got that whole part on him. Yeah, I have spent some time thinking. I live in this city with all these amenities that I don't use, nor do I really want to. Being so far away from really any family, just has me thinking, is it time to maybe move back to the Midwest? Right now, well, my brother's out in Colorado. That's about a 10-hour drive. Uh, but the rest of the family, you're looking at a 2-day drive. Yeah, that's much nicer. I mean, I'll be going. My parents live in Wisconsin, which is where I was born and raised. Uh, which is why it's even more shameful that I didn't go to Adepticon, since they live about 30 minutes away from it. Yeah, I was raised in a suburb of Milwaukee. They're, oh, they might be a little more than 30 minutes, but not by much. Maybe an hour from where Adepticon was. Yeah, that is a, well, I'll put it this way. I'm not getting any younger. My parents definitely are not. And while I could carry on without ever being at Adepticon, knowing that you only have so many years left with family members, well, I need to make that a priority to get out there more. I think my youngest sister, her husband's getting ready to retire from the Navy. I think at that point they're moving to Wisconsin. Have you never been to Essen? Because that's one of the biggest shows out there, isn't it? Or am I mixing up Spiel? Okay. There's a couple UK streamers that I like to lurk in. AC Miniatures, mostly. He was talking about, I don't know if that's the one that's about to happen. He was talking about a couple shows in Europe. He actually was at Adepticon. Salute. Was he talking about that one? He might have. Like I said, he was talking about a bunch of shows. Um, I like to lurk in his stream, so I wasn't talking, just there. If I could paint like him, I'd be quitting my day job. Oh, that's not bad at all. Where is Essen in Germany? I feel like I know I've heard of the city. I just don't remember where in Germany that is, or if I ever knew where in Germany. Oh, these guys don't have chains like the ladies do. Ah, okay. I'm semi-familiar with where Cool is. Semi-familiar. Sort of a student of history, and European history is kind of my favorite. Shit. Yes. A lot. At one point, most of those cities were, well, at least the ones in Germany and Italy, were independent city-states. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Well, let me rephrase that. There's a part of me that would like to go to Europe one day. The industry I'm in has a lot of equipment vendors in Germany. France, UK, Spain, Austria, Dutchland, good old Netherlands. Um, I mean, shoot. I wouldn't mind seeing anything. Mostly historical. There's so much history over there. So much history. Where do I begin? Rome would be fun. All of the Roman Empire type stuff in Rome. Greece would be fun. All those ancient city states there that there's still ruins of. I think Germany, Austria. Being able to see cities like Berlin, Vienna. Of course, England would be fun. I don't know if there's any part of not Spain, sorry, Europe that would not be enjoyable to see in some form for the historical value of it. I can tell you my favorite historical eras. Uh, I've always loved German history, the rise of Prussia. Oh yeah, absolutely. My only challenge is having to actually travel there. I have let my passport lapse, and I've intentionally never renewed it. Yeah, my company that I work for, I work in Vegas, but the corporate office is based in Vancouver. Vancouver, Canada. And then we have mine sites in a couple places in Mexico, a few places. And it's been mentioned a few times about me needing to visit Vancouver, the HQ. So far, I've been able to dodge all of that. And I was able to dodge a last minute trip to uh, England. That was to look at some equipment. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think I'm allergic to travel. Like, I just have no desire to leave the comfort of my home or change my daily rhythms. I don't like hotels. I don't like I don't like flying. I don't like airports. Like, I'm not afraid to fly. I'll be the one in the window seat, but I've just become one of those old. Let me just stay in my little space, my sanctuary. No, I mean Vancouver is it's a beautiful area. The city is beautiful. Uh, everything around it, uh, when I was young, we always went to France. Yeah, I think I traveled more when I was young. I didn't have as much of a, I didn't have any problem traveling. I went, when I was really young, I went on like a missions trip to Honduras. Uh, when I lived in Missouri for school, I would drive 9, 10 hours to visit my parents, uh, during like the summer, Christmas holiday, that kind of stuff. I think it's as I've gotten older, I've settled more and more into just a routine, and I don't like to break out of it. I think a lot of what did it was, my last job. Uh, we had a factory in Vegas, and then another factory in northern Idaho. And for a while there, I was traveling, especially when they temporarily shut down the factory in Vegas. I was traveling, I'd be up there for 2 weeks at a time, come back for maybe a week, and then back up there. I was essentially working up there. Oh, that I don't know if I could do. Plus, I still haven't updated my passport. It is now, shoot, I don't know when that expired. A long time ago. I wouldn't mind going, to Colorado. Never been there. That'd be kind of nice. But we'll see. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing with these guys for this metal. I might just keep it kind of dirty, and I should have done it. I should have just done it true metallic metal. Too late now. I'll probably, close to the holidays, I'll go visit my daughter in Missouri. Uh, her birthday is beginning of December. But when it comes to Christmas, my house gets uber decorated. Christmas lights all over on the outside. Oh. Okay, I'm going to run real quick, grab, uh, or refresh my drink, run to the restroom, and then I'll see what I can do with this metal. Might just be dry brushing, but I'll be right back. All right, back. Oh, I have an 11 here. Okay, how do I want to do this? That is the question. I think we can mix in just a little bit of neutral gray. Let's mix that. One over here for now. Let's just get this little dry brush. I think this is going to be a pretty... Yeah, I got a feeling today is going to be a shorter stream. We're having a hard time. Let's see if we can't make it through some more of those. Or maybe I'll switch over to play just a little bit of Warcraft. Maybe. Hey, Rem from YouTube. How are you doing today? I didn't know anyone ever watched on the YouTube. Guess I was wrong. Careful around the skin. Painting some war song themed orcs for my little horde army. Yep, orcs from World of Warcraft. Trying to make some headway on these guys. Been sitting here for many weeks. Too long. We're getting somewhere with them. Their skin is done. Uh, and I'm working on their armor. I painted the wood for the bows, but I may redo that depending on how it looks when we finish these. I feel like it looks way too close to the primer color. This is significantly darker. Yeah, I'm doing a very weak, uh, what I call like a dirty non-metallic metal. Definitely not following the normal rules of non-metallic metal. But it works for orc armor. Well, Warcraft orc armor. So I'm mostly started with like a coal black, and I'm hitting it with a mixture of a coal black, uh, and a neutral gray, just to lighten it up a little bit. Hitting that kind of heavy, and then I'm going to come in with one of the brighter grays in this same mix, just to really brighten it up, and do just a very, very light uh, dry brush. So this dry brush is hitting everything I can. That next one I'll barely hit anything. A couple spots I gotta hit with my brush. Well, just that one chest piece. Little ring there that I can't hit with the dry brush. Bow gets in the way. The goal of what I'm doing is trying to replicate what I did on the other 10 models with a similar armor style. On those, I used a speed paint and a slap chop method. But I'm trying to replicate that with just standard acrylics. Okay. Touch. Okay, I'm just gonna mix that in here. So go in and do those little. So I think where I'm really lacking with the like non-metallic metal is just brush control. Like when I sit back and look, I'm starting to get the theory down. Just having a hard time getting the brush to do what I want it to do. That's not all of it. There's more to it than that. Why I struggle, but that seems to be a big challenge for me. Uh, okay, give me a quick second. I'm gonna rinse off my dry brush and change my water. Okay, I think that's good for the armor ish. It's not gonna win any awards, but it'll make me happy when I look at these guys. We're done with those. Yeah, so just for reference, it's definitely different. I may need to go one more brighter. I'm gonna have to go a little bit brighter to match this, what I did here. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta go brighter. Uh, let's, well, those, we'll just do the neutral gray and this bright gray. I do understand this isn't gonna be perfectly the same as those other 10. Simply just because it's a different, different style of painting, different type of paint. Like, I really like how that slap chop works, and I like the look, but it's a different beast. Let's give it one more brightener. Just because. Part of the problem, I think, on those, I came back and I dry brushed white on it. So that has way too much contrast in it. I don't want to go that bright on these. Yeah, something's wrong with my mod bot, whatever it's called. It usually catches all that. I think that comes through Streamlabs, maybe. Okay, that's gonna have to be good. All right, let's do another. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break. Use the restroom. Wash some of these brushes out. So, give me a couple. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Okay. So let's see what we've got left. So I want to do the leather strapping next. I might use this on like his shoes, his belt, the bracer. Well, both bracers. One, there's not a lot on there that you can see. And then, of course, his chest straps. And same with her. Done with the armor. It's as good as I'm gonna let it get. That's the problem, is I don't have my stream manager open over here. It's like I said, it usually catches those all those spam messages. Okay. So I don't know how detail I want to go with the. It might just be a base and a highlight on this leather. That might be good enough. Start with a black brown. Put this one away. Now, the majority of the large areas are painted, so now just a lot of the little things like the bone spikes, horns. Uh, all this leather strapping I'm doing. And then he's got some type of like red, not red, but like a crimson pants. And since these guys are Warsong, Warsong clan they didn't cross through the dark portal till till after the events of Beyond the Dark Portal were uh, concluded. So they didn't in the second war they didn't come over. So I do a red earth for their base. And I'll put some, I think I did, yeah, some pink looking bushes. Seems to work pretty well. And then I'll have to make a decision on this, the bow and the quiver. Whether I'm going to repaint those or... because it might look alright after everything else is painted. It's just when I first did it, it looked so much like the primer I used. Although as I'm staring at it more and more today, I'm seeing that it really isn't. It's definitely a different shade. I had just followed this this workup for wood that used, I don't know what it was. It was like a, maybe it was dark umber or burnt umber. It's one of the Monument Hobby umber colors. And uh I mixed, I don't remember, it was one of the grays. Just to give it more of like a deadwood type look. Which that was kind of based on the whole idea of them staying on Draenor. And even though Nagrand has a lot of lush forests, not lush forests, but very green landscape. Uh, they kind of stuck around near the Dark Portal in what was the Tanan jungle, but became Hellfire Peninsula. So that was kind of my logic, but I just don't know it that it turned out all right. As I'm getting more color on it, I think I can live with it. It's really going to depend on after I get almost all of this gray around it painted, then I can kind of look and see how I feel about it. I think that is, I've highlighted of course, but I still need to do the fletching. Think about that on those. Ah. So I will, as I said earlier, I'll be playing by ear the whole stream schedule. My desire, we'll see how this goes, but uh uh with this new work schedule, me working on Fridays, I still hope that I'll be able to kind of work like a half a day on Fridays. Come home, stream. So there might be a Friday afternoon stream. Um, I'm Pacific Standard Time, so afternoon for me. Um, and then since I'm getting home, like I try to leave work around 2:30 my time. That's all very very up in the air. I guess I say all that. There may be another mid-afternoon stream. Not a super long one, but just something. Because I know that, especially lately, the motivation to paint has just not been there. Like I want to. Some days I just sit there and I stare at everything and then never actually do anything. Whereas when I stream, I actually get stuff done. Even on days like today where I just don't feel the motivation. Actually gotten a good amount done on this in the past couple hours. So it's helpful for me to stream. And for me, it's about just continuing to put these skills into use to continue to grow and get better. That's my goal. The fact that my gray pile of opportunity is very opportune, excessively opportune. So, really need to finish these guys since they've been sitting here. Because they're up here, I've got their 10 counterparts that I pulled back up here, and they've been sitting here now. So that's a lot of space in an already crowded little craft area. Hobby area, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see. We'll see what my stream schedule ends up being. I mean, Saturdays are obviously going to stay the same, which typically is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'd still like to do Friday streaming. I despise the change in our schedule. I know I bitched about this at the beginning of the stream, but I feel like this last week I definitely worked more hours, so adding that 5th day, and I know that's the schedule that most everyone works, but I got very used to having 3-day weekend. Very used to it. So a couple things I wanna tinker with. I'd like to try to change a bunch of my emotes. Slowly working on those. Ones that you can actually see. Use. Need to get back to regularly posting stuff on my Instagram. I don't know if I've made a post at all this year. And I love doing the little reel type things. Post it on my Instagram, drop it to TikTok and YouTube. Uh, but yeah, I haven't, I've got some already pre-made, just waiting to be posted. I just never post them. So I want to start doing that again. Hopefully, as the dust settles on this schedule change, I can find ways to get my hours back down. Start putting some more effort into this mini painting adventure. get all the strapping? Guess so. I have not finished any yet. We are still working our way. Just going down the line with the parts. Right now we're on the leather strapping. Yeah, with army painting, it's easier just to grab a bunch of them. And hit them all at the same time. Kind of go part by part, do all their skin. Pretty much. I've got a project coming up that I'll be doing. It's kind of like a diorama. Not really. I love Marvel, just never paint it. Yeah, I've got a diorama that I'm gonna be doing. That's not Warcraft. I love Marvel as well. I just I don't break out of the mold very often. Um, Marvel is a little harder to. I do mostly 3D printed models. Uh, so a lot of it comes down to finding the sculpts. Just like it's difficult to find Star Wars sculpts. They're out there. There's it's called Warblade Studios. They make Star Wars sculpts. Uh, but and they are like Star Wars Legion or Star Wars Shatterpoint models. And they're good. But they're very limited in what they have. Uh, and I'm sure it'll grow in time. But for those, I just found it was easier just to buy the physical miniatures. They can get expensive, but you can find a lot of them on Amazon for discounted. But the problem with the Marvel is kind of the same deal. Um, I mean, for me, it's there's not really any difference. Maybe difference in colors. Marvel's probably more vibrant. Warcraft, especially with me doing a lot of orcs, Warcraft is just more dingy. This would be the word. I don't get a lot of the same vibrancy that you would with, painting like Captain America or Thor, Iron Man. But yeah, it's hard to find sculpts for Marvel. I gotta be careful how many physical miniatures I purchase. because they have the Marvel Crisis Protocol. I feel like that's significantly more expensive, even though it's made by the same company as the Star Wars Legion. I guess that's more just because I find a lot of the Legion miniatures uh, marked down on Amazon, but I don't ever really see the Crisis Protocol, although I don't look that often. I've just looked for specific sets that are always pretty expensive. But my favorite is Warcraft. I've been playing the video game since '96. So now it's kind of, there's a good amount of sculptors that do Warcraft themed miniatures. Although I will say Blizzard doesn't seem to care that much about people sculpting Warcraft miniatures. But that's the trick. You gotta say Warcraft themed. Oh, shit. I am almost done with the leather. I'm gonna need a little more paint. Yeah, I used to be big into it. Never anything serious. Like, I never did any of the serious raids or anything like that. Or the serious guilds. So I still play. Like, the new expansion just came out. I actually played quite a bit. But I would still prefer to paint it over playing it. But this current expansion is good. They botched a few of them. One that is probably still my favorite is one of the one of the worst expansions. I still love it, Warlords of Draenor, but it's definitely I guess I love it because 11 years ago. Yeah, it's been out now 22 years. Yeah, Warlords of Draenor was conceptually my favorite. In execution, they gave up on that expansion before it even launched. So there was a lot of content they had planned that they just never did. And I know the fan base hated it. Oh, goodness. Leave this open for a little bit just to get some paint, since I'm almost done with that color. Alright. Sure, I got everything on the leather. So I still gotta highlight it. I just haven't decided if I'm gonna use this burnt umber mixed with black brown or just use the burnt umber alone. But I think that's gonna be it for me today. We're at about 3 hours. Starting to have a hard time here. So I think we will call it a stream. Not sure what next week is gonna look like. We'll go ahead and take us out though. Yeah, I don't know what next week's gonna look like, stream wise. Like I said earlier, I would like to add an evening stream, or a late afternoon stream, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with Fridays. But I'll definitely be back Saturday around 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully not painting these orcs. They should be done by then, as long as I find some motivation. But maybe start on that diorama, and try to get that going, since there is a deadline on that. So, well, thank you for spending some of your Saturday morning, afternoon with me. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. As always, stay mad, stay angry, stay grizzly.